I was 32 years old the first time I made an investment. I had never really even heard about angel investing. The world was very different back in 2006. Now it is common practice. Most kids think about being an investor. You have 13-year-olds, on Robinhood and NFTs. And so I was 32. I never thought about it prior, but I got into social media, Web 2.0, and I started to go to things like South by Southwest and this and that. I didn't have a lot of money because I was working in my dad's liquor store, not getting paid a lot, and all the, the stories I talk about of like building a big business but not getting a lot of dollars. So I didn't have a lot of money. So when I first heard like they put 100,000 into this guy put $1 million into, I was like, that's not for me. I don't have that kind of money. Then I started realizing like, oh, you could write a $25,000 check, this, that, and the other thing. And then one thing led to another, and I became very friendly with, several people on the small 10, 15, 20 person Facebook team, including their founding CTO, Blaine Cook. I started becoming friendly with Kevin Rose, who was the founder of Dig.com and who's now very big in Web3 with Moonbirds. I started getting in the mix. I started reading TechCrunch, and I was like, oh man, there's like this whole world. And then Blaine Cook called me and said, I'm leaving Twitter and I'm really not happy and want to just sell all my shares. Just want to wipe my hands of it. And I know that you're a big believer, Gary, and you've been really nice to me. And I think you get it bigger than just the way the nerds and I see it. And would you like to buy some of my equity? And I said, yes, sir. First, I spent like 5 minutes trying to talk him out of it. But then I bought it. So it was my first transaction ever. I had to find a law firm in New Jersey. I found one. The junior guy that was ascending to partner was a man by the name of Mark Yudkin. He now is the COO and my general counsel of my whole world. So from the first investment I ever made, several months later, Randy Zuckerberg called me, said, Mark and I wanted to reach out. Our parents are selling some of their stock because they want to buy a house in California to be bi-coastal to be near us. Would you like to buy Facebook stock? I said, yes. That was the biggest check I'd ever written. That was a 6-figure check. It wiped pretty much all my savings out. And then finally, and by the way, ironically, this is crazy. This is actually their certificates from Tumblr and Twitter of my investments. Then finally, in that same year, David Karp and I became friendly. He came to the wine library and I said, David, I really want to invest in Tumblr. I think you're the next big thing. And the first 3 companies I invested in my entire life as an investor were Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Tumblr sold for $1 billion to Yahoo. A couple years later, Facebook and Twitter obviously went IPO. I've never sold a share of Facebook since the day I invested almost 15 years ago. And I sold some Twitter, but still hold the majority of that holdings from then. And then, a year or two later, I started to make business content, not wine content, in 2009. I'd really established myself with a book called Crush It about social media. And now in 2009-10, I was really part of that Silicon Valley Web 2 thing, and away I went.